The wheeling lights are on. Great tails away view. We're racing, and oh, what a great, oh, somebody stalled right in the middle of the track. Pat Lindsay? No. That was David Welsh in the Ferrari, and he really bottled up everybody behind him, Cal, but it looks like everybody able to make it through so far, but Popes explodes into turn 2.
Well, the all-wheel drive Volvo once again gets the job done at this standing start. First pole position of the year for Andy Post. Meanwhile, Johnny O gets a great start, gets around Mike Skeen. He's up to second early.
And again, those two guys are battling right now for that second and third of the championship and hoping maybe to delay Pat Long clinching the championship here as we head up into one of the challenging turns here, climbing the hill, Cal.
Pat Long goes side by Lindsay there as we come out of the infield and climb the hill. There he is. He's on the outside now. Andy Pilgrim looks to the inside of him now. Will Long drop another position?
Interesting for Pat Long, as you can see O'Connell closing up on Popes. They added some weight to the base weight of the Porsches, but Pat Long is maxed on rewards weight. This is going to be a long day for him.
It really will, because he had that double win at Infineon, so it maxes him out, but he's hoping the other guys come back to him for the final round at Atlanta. But this is a great part of the racetrack, the corkscrew plummeting down the hill. There you see the oil drive, some earlier problems on the racetrack. Sofrona's looking strong there in fourth. Here we see Pilgrim. He's a man on the move. He's won here before back in 2007. He gets the job done there on Lindsay, so the caddy's looking really strong, but Lindsay comes back at him.
Wow, what a great exit out of that turn 2, and they touch, and Pilgrim, big lurch sliding, just got hammered. That was Crescentini, I think, that got into him, and Pilgrim is broken.
There is damage, and I think Andy could have given him a little bit more room there. You see it there, he really comes down, and Patrick's already over the curb. We'll see Patrick get into one of the other caddies, Johnny O'Connell, this year, but I think Andy could have maybe just given him a little bit more room at that apex.
Oh, and now everybody taking evasive as the rest of the pack comes around the somewhat stranded Andy Pilgrim. He's limping along right now as the field, the top group heads down to that amazing corkscrew. By the time you finish the drop on this, Cal, it's about a 5.5-story drop, isn't it?
It really is amazing. I mean, the pictures really don't do it justice. When you're behind the wheel and you come over the top there, you literally see nothing for a moment, and then the world just plummets away from you.
Meanwhile, Randy Popes continuing to hang on, but a very persistent Johnny O'Connell on board with Paul Brown, your pole sitter in GTS. And right now he is leading this race and is in front of Pratt Cole.
Oh, and there we see Andy Pilgrim. That's more damage. I thought it was the right front, but the right rear is also damaged, Greg.
He's just trying to somehow get that car back into the pit lane, but we have a full course caution. And it's probably, one would think, maybe because of Andy here limping around trying to get back. So we're full course caution. And we want to take you back to some of the action that's unfolded here. Earlier in the race, this was the incident between Andy Pilgrim and Pat Lindsay, and it looked like, again, he just turned across on Pat a little bit.
He did. I think he could have given him a little bit more room, and then we see the resultant damage to the rear end of that caddy, puts him out for the day.
Then we have the restart. Now, early on, watch this as we're on board with Lee in the Chevy Camaro. Gets a little wide in some dust, but is able to hang on to it and continues on. Also in that dust cloud, that was where the lead in touring car changed hands. Watch here, Rob Holland gets a little loose right here. You see all that dust in front. Holland loosens it up, and there goes Christian Herbert underneath. But the reason, Cal, for that massive dust cloud was a huge shunt by Tommy Greasy.
Yeah, he just comes off a turn 4, pinches it a little bit, gets into that tire wall, and major damage to that True Speed Porsche.
We are back to green. Popes leads away.
Look at Patrick Lindsay to the outside, Greg. He gets the jump, times it perfectly, and swings it around. James Sofrona's there, that white Core Performance Corvette there. You see May get into third. It's going to be tight there as they exit turn 2.
Side by side with his teammate Mike Skeen in the yellow Krager Wheels Corvette. And right there you see Lindsay gives it up. He did not want to go door to door like he did with Pilgrim up against a teammate. And down we go. So O'Connell hangs on, Skeen hangs on to third, but a great restart by Lindsay.
Now we're on board with Eric Foss. What a great performance. Started at the back of the grid, having not been here all weekend long. He's up to fourth, got Ben Crosland in his sights as you head down through the corkscrew. Really tough when you're close behind someone. He touches to the inside. Crosland gets loose there, off in the dust. Look at this side by side through 9. Can Foss now stick it to the inside on the braking for turn 10? He does.
And I think maybe Foss in that Traxxas St. Jude's Mustang helped Crosland. That Interbex FX Mustang get just a little bit loose down there. And Foss, though, able to make it work. And, of course, coming up quickly from behind. You take a look at one of those beautiful real-time Acuras closing in as well. Meanwhile, overall GT. It is
He touches him. Skeen gets into the back of O'Connell. We know there's no love lost between these two guys. Fighting out for second as Popes continues to lead.
Boy, he just grazed across that bumper once again. Skeen pretty relentless right now, giving him the old chrome horn just a little bit. Boy, very close as they head up into the legendary corkscrew. There goes Brown. Puff of smoke from Cole. And look at Crosland's move, Cal.
Slides to the outside. I'm not sure he's going to make that stick. Slides a little bit wide. There's Cunningham looking for the hole. Not quite enough room to make it stick, but he's hassling him. This Acura is really hooked up through this sweeping section of the racetrack.
We hop on board with Foss, who was all kinds of sideways going through the corkscrew. Spectacular driving here in this Traxxas St. Jude Children's Hospital machine. Meanwhile, we hop on board with Aaron Povaledo, and he is closing in his Volvo C30 from K-Pax on Tristan Herbert's Brimtech German Autosports, leading VW in the category. Butch to the inside, Cal, deep into the Andretti hairpin.
Wow, that was a power move there. Took him totally unawares. Now they're going to be side by side coming off here. Herbert tightens it up a little bit, but now he's going to be on the outside for turn 3. He's probably going to have to give it up. Povaledo goes back to the front, having started from the pole position.
And does hang on to it. Wow, what a great sequence of corners, though. These two machines fighting for it. And look at Herbert as he comes out at turn 4, got a decent run. Meanwhile, look at this. Our overall GT leaders working through a huge scrum of traffic. Sports car wars. This is what it's about. Multi-class racing, sprint format. And this is what you have to do.
Skeen down the inside wall. That was tight. O'Connell sweeps across on the apex for 10. Nearly contact.
Meanwhile, Crosland in the pits, some sort of an issue. The jack going underneath the driver's door, never a good sign. Oh, big development here. Eric Foss makes the turn at turn 11 early into pit lane. Problems for the gentleman who'd been running such an incredibly effective race. Oh, you can see the hands up. He knows something inside that car is serious. He may be done for the day. Meanwhile, working traffic again, Randy Popes hanging on, actually stretching that margin just a little bit over O'Connell, who's done the same now to Skeen.
Lindsay's really getting a great run through traffic here. Here we see O'Connell probing, looking for a way by. That's not going to happen on the apex here. Look at Skeen, he gets on the power early. He's going to go alongside O'Connell, climbing the hill. O'Connell doesn't give him much room. Can Skeen force the issue? He does. Into the brake zone, up to second.
What a great pass by Skeen, and that Krager Wheels vet slots in his second, O'Connell third, Lindsay fourth, and look at Safronis has closed in as well. And our touring car leader, Povaledo, into the pits. Suddenly, Cal, a huge skew of problems for a number of our top contenders.
Yeah, this is very unusual to see so many problems right in the mid part of this race. He was leading in touring car and started from the pole. He'll be bitterly disappointed. 5th pole of the year, look for the 5th win. It's not going to happen here.
And meanwhile, look at this again, those leaders working traffic. Coming up through, that's Brad Adams, the Voodoo Music entry. And this is where Skeen made the move on O'Connell the previous lap. And doesn't look quite close enough to do it again on Mr. Popes here.
The key is your experience. Randy's been here so many times before, but this has been a different type of season for Randy Popes. He's looking for a first win. He'll have the jitters a little bit in terms of making sure he nails this one. You've just got to time things. The traffic can really hurt you. Now we see more traffic here down into turn 10. Oh, what a move by Skeen. Goes to the outside. What a surprise. Randy had the apex. He had to think that he had the position saved. And Skeen just swoops around him. Look at Patrick Lindsay now in the other CRP Corvette. He's looking for a way by as well. Can they run 1-2?
He got by O'Connell. What a great pass, but Skeen, that outside move, then just slammed the door on Popes. What an impressive move by young Mr. Skeen. Closing in on the conclusion of the 11th round of the Pirelli World Challenge Championship, the Cadillac Sports Car Grand Prix presented by Grassroots Motorsports at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca, and boy, some amazing racing going on. James Safronis dive bombs underneath Pat Lindsay, picks up the 3rd spot, and again, Safronis in the middle of that battle for the championship. Needs more points than he's got right now, but is doing everything he can, Cal.
Yeah, he's certainly being super aggressive right now. That was a great late braking move. He talked about those stop tech brakes. He used them to the max right there. We see Johnny O'Connell fading a little bit right now, back to 5th.
Oh, and look at this. This is the battle for the lead of the touring cars. Tristan Herbert in that Brimtech German Auto Parts VW feeling the heat from our championship contender, Lassen Aschenbach. Remember, started virtually dead last in a big touring car field, had that amazing start that got him the Optima Batteries Best Start Award. But who would have guessed he'd be able to sky through the field like this and end up battling for the lead this late in the going? Boy, this is a champion's drive right here, isn't it?
Very different lines there. Here we see Herbert there tucked to the inside, and he's run wide, he's run wide. Aschenbach's got a chance here to get the lead, he gets it. Wow, from the back of the pack to the front on the final lap. Look at this action.
Boy, Tristan just feeling the heat. Now Tristan, though, up into turn 5. It's the long way around the outside. Can he do anything with it? Watch to the left. Do you see the white Compass car? Yep, there goes Aschenbach. So he hangs on to the point after a great exchange of corners, but just some great racing in every class.
Oh, Sofronis has got a problem. He's got a problem. He might have a cut down tire. He runs wide in an instant. Lindsay and O'Connell are through. This has championship implications. I mean, Sofronis in the thick of this points battle.
Yeah, he came in second in the points, so Long gets a little assist there, ironically, from another Porsche contender. And that's not what you want to see happen. Oh boy, and Sofronis, who loves this track, has had great success here in the past, and a great late race charge, all for naught. Meanwhile, last lap, and skiing, it was in this sequence of corners he made a absolutely brilliant pass for the lead. Now he negotiates it one last time, Cal, and is on his way perhaps to a third win of the season.
He's been up on the wheel all day. He's got a great car underneath him. He wanted to win. He knew he had the car to do it, and he's executed.
Onto the front straight. Here he goes. The checkers await right by the bridge. They fly, and Skeen gets it done. A brilliant win. And obviously that CRP team absolutely delighted. And if Pat Lindsay can hang on for a good run, there he does. It is a third spot, so they have a double podium, first of the season for CRP. That's a great way to finish out a long season with just one round to go. Meanwhile, look at Paul Brown on board the 1 hour heating and air conditioning Luminox Tiger Racing entry, and that looks like it will be a clinch for Paul Brown. Absolutely amazing season for this man. They weren't even sure they had the budget to go the entire year, and he's able to do it. And look at that, he's just running it off a little bit. I think he's savoring the moment. And for Lawson Aschenbach, Cal, just a stunning drive.
Yeah, if he can just get up the hill here. I know Herbert's close, but I mean, he seemed to have a lot more grip in the later laps of this race. Gets it to the front, and his 5th win of the year. What a way to celebrate another championship with Compass 360.
Just superb. Look at Aschenbach. He is going. It's his 2nd consecutive championship. He won last year in another series with the same team. So a great couple of years for the team, a great couple of years for Aschenbach. His 2nd, let's not forget, his 2nd Pirelli World Challenge Championship, along with the 06 GT title. And Mike Skeen, boy, look at that. He is just having a great time out there as he's enjoying this lap of honor.